Hi, I'm Tristan Ziegler with Hazelcast, and today I'll show you how to use Spring Boot in order to configure and run a Hazelcast cluster. I'll be walking you through a tutorial that's available online at the link in the description below for this video. Spring Boot is an open source framework that can be used to create third-party libraries and standalone applications. It's an easy way to produce and run microservices like the Hazelcast platform with minimal configurations. We can create a simple application using Spring Boot that's able to start an instance of Hazelcast. We first want to create a new Gradle or Maven Java project and name it Tutorial Jet Starter. We then need to locate the build.gradle or pom.xml file and copy the build shown here. Now paste it in, save it, and refresh the project if needed. While we're at it, we should rename the package in the main folder to org.example since we referenced it as such in the build. And we should also delete any classes that we won't be using, so anything here in the test class and the library class in the default package. We only have to create one main class, which will be TutorialAppplication, and we'll do that now and paste the code here into it. And just save it like usual. Now if we go ahead and run the tutorial application, we'll wait for it to start up, and we should see the following output here: loading Hazelcast Jet default YAML and loading Hazelcast Jet member default YAML, meaning that the default Hazelcast configuration file is being loaded and used from the class path. If we want to create a custom configuration of our member, we need to define two types of YAML files here. All we need to do in this case is copy the following configuration here and paste it into any sort of text editor, so for me, TextEdit, and save it as hazelcastjet.yaml. And we want to save it in the lib folder of our project directory. Now do the same thing with our other configuration file, which will be our Hazelcast YAML file, making sure to save it in the lib folder of our project directory. Now if we go back to our Java environment and we run the application again with our two new files here, we should see a slight difference. So now we've loaded the two configuration files from the working directory instead of our default files. If we want to specifically set the Hazelcast configurations to a certain configuration file, we can create a new properties file in our Java directory named, in our case, tutorial application .properties, and paste our code in here. Now if we go ahead and run the program one more time, the application will start up based on that properties file right here. Be sure, however, that the name of the properties file matches the name of the main class, and I've changed it for the sake of the example. But if we run the program again, it will fail. Similarly, we can use system set property to set our configuration files, and if we run it again, it should run like usual. So either one will work, whichever you prefer. Finally, if we were to have a Hazelcast cluster already running and want to connect it with the client, we can create a new YAML file which will be our client configuration file. And we'll name it Hazelcast client YAML. Again, making sure to save it in the lib folder of the project directory. At this point, we don't need our other YAML files anymore. So if we run the program again, and assuming we did everything right, we should continually look for a live cluster to connect to, which I don't have. But it will keep running until it either connects to a live cluster or we cancel the program. Again, we can explicitly set the client configuration in a properties file like we did earlier, or by using the system property capability, whichever you prefer. And that's all you have to do. I hope you understood that quick run-through of utilizing Hazelcast with Spring Boot, and of course, thank you for watching.